I wish they would let us do horizontal, but they don't want to let us do vertical now. But what I'm doing is finishing up decorating these brooms. I need to get some zip ties. Hang on. Oscar, stay away from my broom. No, none of this is for you. I'm going to make this as tight as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to decorate this broom. You're just going to watch me decorate this broom from this into what it's going to become. I'll take it outside when I get done and pull the loose stuff out and kind of fix the bottom. I've left it a little bit longer on the inside, so in case she wants to prop it up, it'll lay nice over the floor. But we're fixing to tame this hairdo and decorate. And Kim kind of wanted a haunted Victorian kind of theme. And I'm just going to put a touch of Christmas so she can display it during Christmas, and then take those touches out and display it the rest of the year the way she wants to. So this is Kim's, and we're just going to get it ready for her to pick up. Tomorrow all day I'll be at the newspaper office working on editing photos tomorrow or Friday. So I wanted to get some stuff done. Last night I ended up having to, I was at the doctor, and I ended up having to go for a heart test, and I had blood work and they did a heart test, and it was just a weird night. But, you know, that happens when you have illnesses like me. And now I'm back home and I'm trying to get some crap that I need to get done because we have Grinchmas in just a few weeks. And everything that is trash I'm putting on the floor so I can easily sweep it up. Hi, Gypsy. So do I look like I had a rough night? I had a rough night. I've only got a ponytail going on. And I thought, I'm going to handle this nasty hay. It was not nasty, but it makes you feel like you're dirty after you water in the hay. I'm going to handle this and do this before I take a bath, because who knows what I will feel like after I take a bath. I also have laundry going. If you hear a gurgle, it's my washing machine. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm just got my hot glue gun on here, and I'm just trying to tame the hairdo here a little bit. And this is mostly going to be tamed with ribbon. Some of it I'll have to cut off because it won't fold over. Some of it I'll use flowers to help it stay folded over. But I got this ribbon right here to be a band over it. And I think it's going to go perfect. Just roll away. I think it's going to go perfect with the style that she wanted. And add a little bit of a different color. And y'all, if you don't know, like I tell y'all, these brooms are a labor of love. And they are, because they're a pain in the butt. I love when they're done and I get to see what I made, because it's something that other people don't readily make. But man, they're a pain in the butt. I can't tell you how much of a pain in the butt they are. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I want to make one of those, you have been warned. They will make you cry a lot. Now I'm going to try to wrap this really pretty olive shiny green ribbon around. And I had that here so it would stay. Apparently that's not going to work either. I think I have plenty of ribbon. I hope I do. I'm going to go down a little bit and kind of make this one elongated into like a bell shape. It's pretty. It's very pretty. I gave her this one because I had cut more limbs and stuff off of it. And it looked just a little bit more interesting. And I knew she would get that and like that. I'm washing Oscar's bed, and my washing machine just was completely unbalanced. I came home and slept a couple hours and reveled in the happiness of the election news, and then I've just kind of been hanging out thinking, do I have the energy? Yeah, I need to have the energy, so I'm doing this. So here I am making this. I will be glazed over with sweat by the time we get done. Don't worry. I'm going to save the rest of the ribbon for a bow to go on at the very end. So that helps tighten everything up. I'm dropping everything on the floor over here. So that helps tighten everything up quite a bit. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, let that kind of calm calm down a little bit. I'm going to put some roses over here, and over here I may pull this down and put a couple down here. I'm trying to make this right here come down as much as possible, so I can put some flowers up here to make it look normal. Man, I had this tied on here thinking, oh, let us stick to that. It won't slide. It's sliding. We tie it up here too. Oscar, don't knock it over, honey. My kitchen's gonna be horrible after this. But oh well. It is what it is. But look at the handle. It's kind of more of a weird handle with a lot of branches cut off. I thought she would like that. A little bit more interesting. And so we're gonna start making it make sense now. And eventually I will go outside and pull a ton of hay out of the bottom of this, but I'm gonna let it make and see what hangs on. Okay, let's get you to stay right there, buddy. Stay right there, buddy. Okay, I also have garlands, and I have a few colors of flowers, but we have these black dipped kind of burgundy black flowers. Oh, I lost one. And this is going to be the main flower of the broom. I hope y'all can hear me. Oh, stop holding your messages, people. I'm making a broom, a hanging broom for someone's porch or porch door. And she wanted it kind of old Victorian, scary, kind of haunty, but with a touch of Christmas so that she can display it for Christmas. So I'm going to push all the leaves up because I love the leaves that come up under these. Oh, they don't push all the way. I love the leaves that come under these flowers. So I'm going to pull these leaves off because I'm definitely using them. And then I'm going to score the plastic and the metal. Don't do it unless you have scissors that can do it. Otherwise, use needle nose pliers. And I'm going to pop about that much, about 2.5, 3 inches of the stem off. And we're going to place that up here around the base of the broom. And what that's going to do is hide some of my string work and start off the visual line up high so the broom is going to look very long to those that witness it. And that way you just get a better presentation. Oh, my washer is so not level. I may have to go deal with that. And if my nurse knocks on the door, I will have to go very quickly. Okay, question. And we'll do this as a poll in the thing. Hi, Margaret. We'll do this as a poll in the thing while I go level my washer out. Should I put a bow or just trindles of ribbon hanging down? So should it be a bow or just hanging strings woven through the flowers? So bow or strings, put it in the chat, and I'm going to go level my washer out, and I'll be right back. Bows or strings? Maybe that helped, maybe it didn't. We'll see in a minute. I don't have any black velvet. I did order a deep brown velvet, and it's not in yet. But I may add the deep brown velvet when it gets here, as long as it looks like what I thought it looked like on the pictures. But I don't have any black left. So, and I'm wanting to bring a touch of Christmas, but a ribbon or removable picks can be changed for any season. Hello, Jasmine. I do like the idea of black velvet, and I couldn't find black, but I did order brown, a deep brown, which I can throw on if it gets here in time before it's picked up. So that's something at least. So I want to put something over here to kind of tame this down a little bit, and that may be a place to start with the garland. So I got like a magnolia leaf, eucalyptus leaf garland that kind of goes for year round. And y'all know I never use these as garland. I cut them and use them however I need them, which is what everybody should do with these things. They're just not very useful as garlands, but as a pick, you get way more picks for like $2.83 than you would get any other time. So I hardly recommend using garlands as picks. So what I'm thinking about doing is starting this and kind of bringing it down through here, putting a couple of flowers, but then kind of harnessing that hay there and saying, hey, buddy, chill out. Put your hair down. Maybe put one or two flowers in there just to nod to the flowers again. Let me score this real good. I don't have any bittersweet. That's one thing I've been looking for all freaking fall, and they always beat me to it because our dollar store is not very well stocked. And when I went to Hobby Lobby, they were sold out, which really irritated me. The one time I went to Hobby Lobby, they were sold out. But bittersweet would be gorgeous. And I may break down and order some before I do the other one. I don't know. Bittersweet's probably one of my favorite things to put in flower arrangements. I love bittersweet. It looks so pretty. And you can put it in for any season. It's going to look pretty at any season. You don't have to worry about it. It's just going to look pretty. See, I just want to kind of mask that blob of hay there and just give it something else as a focal. Make it look pretty and dangly, but give it something else as a focal so that you're not sitting there going, oh, well, that's completely not, that hay's not sticking where it should stick, and hay doesn't ever do what you want it to do, especially when it's been dried for a couple of years. So I get the really, really, really dry hay out of the barn when I do this. The really, really, really dry hay out of the barn. And put it in an empty dog food bag, and I keep it really, really, really dry. And so this hay is super, super dry. And as long as you keep it in a protected area, it will last, years. Just don't let anything eat it after I put all this glue and crap into it. But it is actually top quality cow hay, so. Dad was kind enough to give me some. Wasn't that sweet of my daddy? So that's where I got my hay. I got it off of the Angus farm. And I just want to disguise this area just a little bit, because I'm also going to further disguise it with some flowers. I want it to look kind of natural, kind of hanging on its own, but also I want it to know it's affixed and not going to give way as soon as I walk away. Oh, ladybug. Anybody else still fighting the ladybugs? There's still a few scragglers around here. They're killing me. That's not a bad idea, Margaret. You know what I even thought? Do I have any of that stretchy spiderwebby stuff? I could stretch it, spray it black, let it dry, and then kind of mask it over the whole thing. That's a really good idea, Margaret. Look at my hair. I've had, since you saw me last, I've had blood work, heart test, EKGs. I'm so tired. But I got to get crap done. I've never lived in a world where my boobs get that far out above my belly. I have lost now like 130 pounds. I mean, I'm still fat cow, but less fat. Like, nobody's going to take me to market anymore. Okay, let's put one of these up top because I think that would be pretty. Or even just some black. Oh, let's just do some leaves. Let's just do some leaves up here, and then we'll move down. Okay, I like this. Just some hints. We'll see where we want to put the next flower. These flowers were a tiny bit expensive, but it's because they're dyed. And if you ever get dyed flowers, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. But they were so pretty, and I kind of know Kim's aesthetic. So when she says, yeah, I kind of like this, I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. So I'm obviously going to work harder to make sure my bestie gets what she wants. And I'm going to kind of move this to where they are going to be interlinked a little bit. So you'll see black and green kind of pop. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let me glue that down there. We're going to see black and green together. I actually really like the way this is starting out. And I may put one flower at the very, very top. Very, very top. Oh, yeah, Priscilla did a huge transformation a few years ago. She's way ahead of the curve on us. Priscilla did a huge transformation. Priscilla, after I talked to you, I got sent back for heart test last night. That was lovely. That was unexpected, too. I was talking to you, and about 5 minutes after we hung up, my phone rang. They said, get your butt back up here. And I was like, oh, man. So I went back up to the doctor's office, and then they ended up sending me for a heart test. Okay, that's what we have so far, just at the top. I want it to look rather like nature inspired this rather than I did. I'm going to put that back there and glue that. Now the back, you can have some cushion against the door, but the front I want definitely in its, decorative state. Where did it go, George? Where did it go? Glue that right there. I gotta find some more glue. Where's my glue? There it is. And I'll show you what I'm thinking about doing for the Christmas side of things. Just for Christmas, you can take it out when Christmas is gone. It's not going to ruin anything. It's just going to be stuck in there, and then she can remove it after Christmas passes. So she's not stuck with it on there all the time. I wouldn't do that to her. You get that in there, burning my hands. Okay, I do like the light green and black. I really do like that. And of course, we're going to have tendrils of ribbon through here. So that right there is probably going to be, that's probably going to be the front. I kind of like that. So we're going to have to bring something over here. And I'm thinking more wrapped garland. Let's get the garland in there first, and then we can add stuff as we know it's needed. Now, because I know this is going to hang on a wall or a door, I'm not going to do it all the way around like I did the other one. I'm going to focus the bulk of the plants on the front. And that's just because I know how she's going to display it, so I can take that chance with her because I know how she's going to use this. Sometimes when you're making stuff and you have no idea how people are going to display it, you kind of go for the broadest stroke. But since I know how she's going to display this, I can kind of focus on certain areas knowing that, yeah, that's going to be the front. I definitely know that's going to be the front. There's going to be a back, and it's going to be on a wall. So you can kind of save the flowers and put them where you need to put them. I think these will wrap really nicely. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm going to cut that right there. I'm going to cut that right under that. I like the white dangles at the bottom. Now then, let me fix this really quick, this ribbon right here. I've got to leave a space on the ribbon so that we can come back and add the tendrils from the green ribbon, the main ribbon. So I've got to be aware that that's what we're going to be doing. So I absolutely have to make sure I leave a space for those tendrils. And if I tuck stuff in the hay, I've got to sit here and hold it until it dries, which is not fun, but it's necessary. So you want one too? Lord, I couldn't ship one of these. They weigh about 20, 25 pounds by the time I get done with everything I put on them. It's kind of pathetic, actually. I don't even have one of these. Every time I make one, I end up gifting it or selling it to somebody, and that's just the doggone truth. If I put one on my door and then somebody visits, they fall in love, and then I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you can buy it, or you can take it. It's just, I never get to keep one, ever. But Kim bought this one back about a month ago, and I just had to order the flower colors she wanted. And so I finally got all that in, and here we are putting it together for her. And then tomorrow I should be finishing the editing on the photos. My health has kind of inhibited that because I have to go up to the newspaper office and I'm going to use their giant behemoth computer. So that's been a little slower than I'd like for it to be, but the family had some stuff go on, so it's been okay. Okay, now I also know I have a lot of these red flowers, but I have a pretty, have a really pretty apricot rose that looks really real actually. And I thought that would kind of also bring in some colors that might be nice. I'm gonna have to cut the top ones. Good grief. There we go. I'm gonna do these in bunches so they look like they're growing in bunches, and I just had my scissors up there. Oh God, I'm turning into Aaron. Does anybody see my scissors? My poor wash machine, I've washed that bed in it several times, but it is having the hardest time getting balanced today. I feel really sad for it. My washing machine's name is Lucinda. She's the good witch. The other one I had was the bad witch. Does anybody else name their washing machines or couches or refrigerators? Or I have, as long as I've been an adult and had these things, I have named them. And I think a lot of it is just, I want them to last forever, so I named them. Hoping that they'll last forever. And I'm going to hold these till they get dry. And I have balanced it with a blanket, and it's still, I did that last time, it washed just fine. These are going to take a moment to dry. There it goes. It's struggling, but it got there. Hey, we're spinning. Woohoo! Oh, I won't. I've got finger protectors, but I can't always like feel where the hay and the flower meets if I wear my finger protector, so it's hard to always get the flowers in there in the right spot when you wear finger protectors. And I'm going to bank these with a red flower. I love these, though. These were a little bit more expensive on Temu, but I love that they're dyed and how they look. I love how they look. So this is kind of a all-year decoration that you can kind of tweak for holidays. Because it wouldn't be fun if you had to just look at the same thing all the time. So there's going to be stuff that you can remove, add, alter, because, you know, that's what's fun when people have these things on the front porch. That's why the duck, the duck that you dress up, that's why the ducks that you dress up were such a hit in the 90s and 2000s, because women like to change that stuff out. And it was so funny because those ducks really took marketing geniuses by storm. They did not think that they would be such a big deal. And by golly, they were. And a lot of marketing people were like, why? Well, it's because women who decorate like to change stuff up. And I don't know if maybe they just hire their decorations, they hire their decorators and they don't ever decorate their home. But I was like, y'all, that's something we love to do. And we're poor, so we find creative ways to do it. And now these back in the day were used because it was said evil couldn't enter your home, and because it would have to stop and count every thing of hay, every flower, and so it said evil couldn't enter your home until it had done that. So a lot of people back in the day had these for, you know, other reasons. But now we just keep them around because it's, number one, cultural, and number two, it's pretty. And I think that's why people keep them around. But that's how Bez and Brooms got their start in Appalachia. Appalachia is an area that has a lot of superstitions, and it's not a bad thing. We just kind of roll with it. So the ones that I know are staying for good, I'm putting a lot of blue on, and the ones I know that will be replaced, I'm not putting a ton of blue on. And I'm trying not to burn myself, but it's going to happen. Oh, like right the other. Oh, I thought about it. I try to never use my right thumb because that's how I get to my iPad and everything. I burned it one time, and it took me 2 weeks to be able to use my thumbprint to get back on my iPad. I had to use that stupid code for 2 weeks. That was a pain in the butt, man. Because you're used to just touching that, and then you have to type in like 6 digits, and it's like, ugh. Okay, so got another thing. So here's where we are right now. That needs to go back in there a little bit more. This is called fine tuning, when it doesn't stay where I want it. I want it like up against these leaves. So let's hold this for a second. Good Lord. Well, thank you. I've brushed my hair. That's about all I've done today. Yesterday was a big day for me. And I was trying to check the election in the middle of everything I was having to do last night. And I finally just gave up. And my phone died. And I come home and I checked it this morning. And I had a feeling, because the way things were going early, I had a feeling it was going to be okay. But, you never can tell. You never know what somebody's set into place when they're powerful and have money. You just, so I went to go get my heart tested, and I was just kind of like, oh dear God, what am I going to find when I check back in? But honestly, a lot of voting places are saying we never saw the bodies that we've ever seen come through. We were just swamped. It was amazing. High voter turnout. And then they're saying that it was actually, oh, look, everybody came in to vote. Very few did absentee or early voting ballots, early voting mail-in. And they're going, okay, well, wait, if this was like the most people we've ever seen, but it wasn't absentee, then how did the last election have 20 million more people but this is the most people we've seen? And they checked records, and sure enough, it was saying that there were so many thousands more in each district. And they were like, that many didn't come in. And so now they kind of went, oh, we got some crap to pay attention to. And I'm like, what have we all been screaming for a decade? Y'all, there's crap going on. My name's Elizabeth. Is that country enough for you? Elizabeth. My name's Elizabeth. So it was kind of funny to see all these people have the revelation that we had years ago. As in, something foobarry going on. So I kind of got home and watched a little bit of that and crashed for a few minutes, and I was like, yep. I was like, they're waking up, yep. I'm going to set this one just a little higher than the one I did over there, just so they're not even on both sides. I don't want them to be even. Hold it till it dries again. I'm decorating a besom broom for a friend. She purchased a besom broom. And I finally got all of the flowers and stuff in. I had the broom made a few weeks ago, but I finally got all the flowers in. And so I thought, well, it's time to go ahead and put this together and get it to her. I'm going to put just a few sprigs of some holiday stuff in. I'm not going to glue them. She can take those out. But I am going to give her a few sprigs of holiday stuff just in case she wants to leave them there through the holidays, which she may choose to do. I don't know. It's on her. She can pick. She knows she can do whatever she wants to it. Last year for her birthday, if you don't remember, I made her the raven that sat on the spear, which was wrapped in ivy and lights. I named him Chacro, but she named him something else. So that was her birthday present last year. And this year I made her a tray and some other stuff, got her a few things. But this is something she absolutely wanted when she saw me making them. And of course, if she wants one, I will make her one. But she did pay for the flowers and everything. It just took them forever to come in. I mean, forever to come in. And the next thing I need to do is actually make Granny and Papa's Christmas arrangement at the cemetery. That's the next thing I need to do. So that'll probably be coming up soon. And I've got some wreaths I need to make for the Grinch Fest in Cookville here in a couple of weeks. So I've got quite a bit of stuff to do. I'm going to split those right there so they come with two flowers. Man, this glue gun had been through it, y'all. Okay, I have to leave myself enough room to tie a bow. Then I tie that green ribbon. So all of this you kind of have to keep in your mind when you're making one of these, because you know you're going to come back through and make ribbon and stuff, you know you're going to have these bows in certain places, so you kind of make sure where you put stuff is where you absolutely want it. Oh, that was my finger. Because you certainly don't want to be fighting with your main tied ribbon there. You want to be able to get it through fairly easily. So I've got alleyways for my main ribbon. So here we go. There's the top done. We're going to have ribbon here, and then we're going to cascade down here. It's looking pretty good, y'all. I think it's looking pretty good. I think we need some long stuff sticking out here. They glued this in. It just looked like it needed something that was kind of drooping right there. I think that will work. Okay, there we go. There we go. I like that. Okay, so to add Christmas stuff, I don't know, but I've got a few ideas. This was one of the easiest ones. I've got everything falling on the floor off my table. Half of my kitchen is very clean, the other half is very messy. So you have these little picks they look like faux cranberries, and you can literally just stick them in and then take them back out after the holiday. And that would be something I know she would be, up to changing out these little seasonal things. So I thought that may be the easiest way to add a Christmas flair that she will remove. And of course I can always tie a separate bow up at the top when I wrap it with copper. Okay, I like that. There's 4 on the top. I like that. That's not too shabby. There's 4 on the top. And you see right here, I made like a nest. I'm going to show you what goes there. But don't worry, there's more. Open. I've got a couple more surprises. So I got a spider brooch to go in the nest of these right here. So I'm actually going to pull that leaf through the brooch so I can hide the brooch. Ooh. Actually, I may just glue it. I'm going to glue him and put a little flower in his mouth, I think. So I'm just going to glue the bulb of his body, so if she wants to remove him, she can. And then let's see, I cut something off there. I'm going to put a couple of these little flowers just kind of in front of him, so it looks like he's carrying something. And it kind of hide the post from the barrette. Trash goes in the floor. It's easier to sweep it up than to sort through and pick stuff up. So, ow, don't stick the nail, stick the hand, thank you. So that should, there you go. There you go. So now he's got 3 little, he's a spider, but he's got 3 little flowers with him. I do like this, y'all. So do you like the cranberries? Was the cranberries I wish I had googly eyes. If I had googly eyes, I'd make a broom with just googly eyes and a smile. I swear I would. I swear I totally would. I'd be like, no, we're just making this thing with the googly eyes. Okay, let's shape up the bottom of the broom now. So you pull apart the hay, and I'm going to stick stuff in there and I'm going to start layering the greenery in. Oh, I need more glue. I use the most glue in these things, so if they fall apart, Gorilla Glue has failed and life's not fair. Because this Gorilla Glue, it stays, y'all. It is amazing. I don't even mind buying it because I know the stuff I make is never coming apart. Okay, put that there, that there. Okay, now we've got that framed out, so we can start adding some flowers. And I may attach this in a couple more spaces with some long sprigs. It doesn't have to go just like this. Y'all, if you hear a knock on the door, it's my nurse, and I'll have to vacate for a moment. But I think it's going to be a bit before she gets, I think. Okay, I'm going to put this behind this hay. So I'm going to put it on this leaf and press that down into there. Okay, let's bring out that ribbon. And I think we can do maybe even 3 bows because we don't have to wrap it anymore. So I'm just putting my ribbon into 3 equal pieces, as equal as I can get them. I'm going to cut them loose. Let's make the first bow. Oh shoot, did I do it? No. I only cut the wrong spot. Cut it all. Okay, the first one we're going to do is just the normal. You take your ribbon, make it into 2 spots, 2 ears, 2 ears. Slide them off your fingers, and now you're going to tie them. Just wrap them around, tie them like you would start tying a shoe. Oh, I've got so much glue on my hands, y'all. Oh, goodness. And then you want to perk your ribbon up. Make sure it's out straight and the seams are up. I like this shiny ribbon. It really takes control of the lot. It makes the prettiest little bows, too. It makes the prettiest little bows. And then, of course, we can dovetail the bottoms. Well, it says, and I'm making them raggedy because it's, I don't want it to look like it's brand new. So I'd cut and pull, cut and pull, cut and pull. Yeah, let's see. Which way will it go? No, I like this way. I'm going to pull them down and make them fluff down. I like that. I like that a lot. It's elegant, but it's not wire rimmed and looks too forceful, you know? Because if they look too forceful, I don't care for them. We could put that one there. We can do a couple with extra tendrils. Okay, let's do extra tendrils on that one. Honestly, it may not need much more than 1 because it looks very full and happy right now. So we may not need more than 1. I may save this other piece of ribbon for something else. That wasn't a very good cut. There we go. Trying to make stuff ragged when you cut is a learning curve. Okay. So which one's short on here? Okay, well I'm going to switch it. No, let's keep it the same. Okay, I'm going to add this first, and then we're going to wrap it through the leaves. How do I post that here? I like that. Okay, I like that. I like that. I'm going to push that there. And when I glue these, I'm going to layer them so that they glue to the one below them and the ribbon above. So I'm going to glue that just above. I'm going to put the glue on both the ribbon I wrapped and the ribbon I just placed. And I'm going to push really hard until it dries. Try not to burn my fingers. So that way we've got tendrils of stuff going, and it just looks like a ribbon took life into itself and grew. And I really like that. The black leaves are going over it. I really like that. The tendrils are going through. Oh, I really like that, y'all. I really, really, really like that. Oh, I really like that. And like not something super aware until you get up on it, and then you're like, oh, that's cute. And I kind of like the sneaky crafting of like the academia stuff. You sneak stuff in to the bookshelf after the fact. You know, I like stuff like that. I like when people sneak stuff into the design and you didn't really know that it was going to be in there. I think my neighbor lady's in the hospital, and while I know y'all know I don't really like her, I do worry about her She doesn't know how to take care of herself, bless her heart. So if you've got 5 extra seconds, toss her up a prayer. Even though she's not a very nice person, she is still somebody I should be concerned about. So I think she's in the hospital. Okay. I mean, she's been meaner than Dickens to me, but I can deal with that because of my past jobs. I can deal with that. But I feel bad because I know she suffers and struggles because she does not know how to take care of herself. And while it probably shouldn't worry me, it most certainly does. So I'm just one of those people. So I'm gonna, when she picks this up, I'll make sure to tell her the cranberries to come out. So I'm just sticking those in there to make balance and breaking up this ribbon and putting it through there for balance. I think that's cute. Now, for one thing that I knew would put this over the top, and I've got some more to do down here, but this is something I knew would put this over the top, and I may use 2 colors instead of 1. And this is why, Margaret, I was so bummed. I've got some off-white bead spray that I may put in there. I don't know. This is something that when I saw, it was while I was upset I couldn't find black ribbon because I found black butterflies. I've got black and brown butterflies. And so I really wanted to have black ribbon to it. And if it comes in, I may say, hey, I'm coming over, and I'll go over and stick it on there. She knows I will. And but right now I just got the green. But I'm going to put some black butterflies in here. And it's kind of like you have to get up close and you have to really inspect this to see everything that's been done to it. And I like that. I really do like that. I like that the more you look, the more you see. That's kind of how my crafts go. The more you look, the more you see. I just have to remember not to make it too awful tacky. That was like Granny's big word of concern is don't make it tacky, Elizabeth. And I always hear my Granny in my head going, don't make it tacky, Elizabeth. But I am very blessed that most of the people I make stuff for, they're tacky in their own right. So they like my tacky art. But I want to put a couple up there, and I'll put a couple more down here as I fill this in. But I definitely want to make sure that they're in places where people have to kind of go, what? Oh, that's what that is. And they're like, oh, wow. And I'm like, yeah, thought about that. I stuck that in last minute. So I'm really tickled right now about how this is going. And what I'm going to do is just cascade some these burgundy dipped roses down. And then I'm going to go and clean up the outside, the bottom of it outside, and shape it up a little bit if I need to with the scissors. And then I've got to find my copper and wrap the handle. I do have some green ribbon and some off-white spray that I may be putting in here. But, y'all know that if I change or alter anything, I will be putting a link or a picture in the community page. Y'all will be able to see it. I kind of like that going over that a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Gonna make this mine instead of hers. No, Kim and I are very similar creatures, so we'll be okay. Let's see, we're gonna put a little glue back here. We're gonna push. Oh yeah, I always put copper on my beds and brooms. I always wrap the handles in copper. There's a few requirements in the Appalachians for the beds and brooms, and copper is one of them. And I'm gonna pull that up to where it makes a pucker, so it looks like it's cascading. That's pretty. Yeah, I always put copper on my beds and brooms. It's one of my favorite things about them, I think, is they use so many natural items. I think that's why I like to make them so much, because they're a mess. My floor is covered in hay. I'm going to have to sweep 3 times. But I love making these, and I think it's because it's basically all from nature except for the adornment. And you can change out that adornment. You're not stuck with it. I put a lot of glue, but that glue will pull right off if you pull hard enough. And so I just try to focus on how much I get to make from nature when I do these. I think it's why I like my dream catcher so much. And if Colin sees this, Colin, honey, I am still working. I only weave when I am super happy, because I don't want to weave any nastiness to send, to go with my dream catchers. And so I only weave when I'm super happy. And that's why when you order multiples off me, it takes me a while. It takes me a while to make them, because I'm only going to weave when I'm super happy. That was something I was taught as a child. And that's kind of how I roll with it. I think of it, it's a very important thing to bring into your home. And I certainly don't want to send my emotions with it. So I focus very hard on understanding where I am emotionally and only weaving on my very best of days. So I did listen to the elders. See, I listened. I know they didn't think I was listening, but I was listening. I really was. Yeah, I love copper. Copper is, it's an amazing thing. It's a grounding metal. It can help you out in so many ways that people don't understand. And I wear a lot of copper. I use a lot of copper. And it's just something that I'm very comfortable adding into almost all of my crafts, because I know how good it is for the person, physically, emotionally. I mean, it kind of heals your soul a little bit with the grounding aspect of it. So it's really important. It's really important for people to understand how important copper is, because I don't think many people understand how important copper is. It is one of those metals that literally I think God made specifically for us to get help from. Oh, I just burnt the snot out of my finger. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Get back in there, you can't run. It glued to the thing, but it glued to me too, so it pulled out with my finger. Oh, that hurt, buddy. This is why I don't have fingerprints. I do. I mean, they're on file with the state and feds because I've worked those jobs, but I don't have it much anymore because I keep them burnt off. But yeah, it took me like 2 weeks to grow skin back to get into my iPad the last time I burnt off. It was funny. My mother didn't think it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I'm trying to build up this bow with a little bit of backdrop of black so it shows a little bit more. So if you wonder what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to add some black so this bow shows a little bit more. There we go. It's just punching it out there a little bit more with color. Okay, and here we are after a couple more flowers. Some copper. Isn't that pretty? So now what I'm going to do is balance on the way down. I'm going to balance this. I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to know kind of what I'm going to be cutting off, how it's going to be sitting. And so I'm going to balance what I bring on down. And then I'm going to go outside and really, really, really shake it, cut it, and trim it. And make sure that I've got the eye going out and back down so that the leftover broom will not distract you from everything else, because it can. And then I made Arctic fox fur palm reindeer ornaments. You can see them in my community, put a picture. I also have these beautiful Arctic fox tails. I've got one here. I've got two here that I've got hooked together. I've got two here. These are going to be sold at Grinchmas. But I do have the Arctic fox reindeer ornaments. It's just a plastic round. It's like shaped like it's round, but it's narrow on the side. It's round, and it's got the Arctic fox fur in there. It's got Arctic fox fur on the top for the ears. It's got antlers and a nose. And they're very cute. You can go to the community page and look at them. If you all like those, with the fur and stuff in there and the shipping, they would be about $18 a piece. I know that's horrible, but shipping is what shipping is. I can't undo it, and I have to pad them. When I mail them. So, Oscar, you're not going anywhere. So it takes quite a bit of money to send them anywhere, and it's a pain in the butt, but that's what it is. So if anyone would be interested in those, if you want to drop a message on the page where the picture in the community thread, then leave your email and I'll email you back. I have been so bad, I've not checked my email, and I've been dealing with so much health stuff, and it's just been like, I'm busy. I've just needed to focus on the fun stuff, I think. I know that sounds horrible, but I've needed to do what makes my heart happy because I've been so sick for so long. It's like, nah, I need to focus on me for a minute and do stuff I love. And that's basically what I've done. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's been what I've needed. Oh, I'm sweating. Here it comes. I'm like my daddy. If I do any work at all, I glaze over like a donut. I'm going to blame it on him. Oh, that green ribbon is popping more now. Oh, I love this. Let me put a couple more flowers and leaves in and I'll show you. So I'm trying to take all that in and bring the eyes down. Bring the eyes down, which I'm doing a decent job right now. Put this over here. Go right there. Put glue in the back. And push it. Glue gun finding. There you go. Push that. Let's see. What's some more black? Yes. Give me. Okay. Okie dokie. Put this together. Put the plastic through. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to balance this side out with these over here, and then I'll show you. Hang on just a second. We'll get it to dry in here. Gonna put a couple more butterflies to sneak in there. Make sure my ribbon's going right. Of course, the ribbon will blow in the wind, so. I do like this though. Okay, and the ribbon's kind of cascading down around everything. Look at that, isn't that pretty? I'm so happy with that. That's pretty, isn't it? I'm gonna put some feel right here and right here. Just take it all in and then pull the eye down to this little finishing down here. I think that's gonna be so pretty. Hi Denise, how are you doing, honey? Well, that's, what is it? Is it Fahad? That's an interesting thought, Fahad. I'll take that into consideration. But I really am tickled with how this is going. I'm just kind of looking at some spots where I want to add some more detail and depth. So it's hard to show it straight onto the camera, but I've got plastic blowing across my kitchen floor. It's hilarious. So here's the other bow. There's that. I want one more back there. So I'll keep those other flowers for something else. I have one flower left over and 3 leaves. So yes, I do use almost everything when I order. Like people say, I want this, this, and this. Can you order that? Yes, I will order it. And I try to use as much as humanly possible without being gaudy. So if you ever ask me to make something, just know that I do use everything when I order stuff. Like it to the point I have to stop and say, no, it's going to make it gaudy. So I try not to, whatever you're paying for this, I'm trying to put that much into it. Because I want you to know I'm honoring our agreement and literally using your money the way you want it used. So, and I have a tendency, y'all know I have a tendency to go over top anyway, so y'all know. Most of y'all already know that, so of course she would use everything because she is always going the extra little mile. Okay, got those pulled up. Let's see, I'm gonna hook that back up there. I'm just kind of making the leaves go where I want them now. Just to pull the vine and stuff back up. Just making the leaves go where I want them. touch the hot glue again. They used to do shots when I burned myself, so happy drinking. Happy drinking. Okay, man, my poor fingers. Ah, okay. Now we're gonna add some more butterflies. So right there is gonna be kind of the front right there. If I didn't have all this busyness going on behind it with my quilts. And I'm gonna shape the bottom when I go out on the porch. I'm gonna shape the bottom. Now then, let's look. I'm thinking. Where did I put the butterflies? Oh, last time I had them, where did I slay them? Hello. I do have some copper ones as well, but I don't know if that would, well, actually, it's kind of pretty. Kind of like the black better, but I think the copper kind of makes a, well, we'll put some copper ones because it'll match the copper wire. I'll put one up here. One right there. And I'm going to put the butterflies on flowers that are going to stay no matter how she changes out the other stuff. So I know the butterflies will be with her. I kind of like the copper and the black together. That's kind of neat. Definitely brings out more tones. Huh, never would have thought that. This is really pretty, y'all. Of course, when I make stuff for my friends, I always kind of go overboard, but I knew this would be pretty. I just didn't know it would be this pretty. I'm going to find one more black here in a minute and put it down at the bottom just to bring the butterflies on down a little bit. And the colors. Oh, my thumb is burning where I burn it, y'all. Oh my gosh, my thumb is burning. And it's not the last time I'm going to burn it. It's going to get burnt a lot. Okay, now let's see if we can find those black butterflies again. Because I've slung everything everywhere. So that was all of my bronze butterflies. There was something else for the trash. Oh my goodness. Sticky dots. Where did I put my black ones? I know I had one or two more left. Oh. Lord knows where I shoved them. They're probably floating around here somewhere. Oh well, I'll find them in a minute. I'm thinking about putting another black butterfly if I find one. But now we have bronze. We have the copper bronze and the black butterflies. I kind of like that. So it's black, black, copper, copper, copper. And I really kind of like the way it pulls the colors out. I'm not going to lie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end this, but I'm going to take it outside and shape it. I'm going to find my copper and copper wrap the handle. This is the only other extras that I have. Let me get in here first. I used to see my floor. This is actually dried various types of pampas grass. I have zebra grass, but I didn't take any up. I should have. It would have saved me a bunch of money. But I have zebra grass, and I do use it sometimes when I dry it, but I just haven't thought of it lately, to be quite honest. And then I saw these and thought, yes, that would work. And then immediately was like, why didn't I think about that for anything else? Now, I want to use the darker ones in here. So I'm going to put these up, but I'm going to use these two. And these are dried. If you have a really big fear of it, spray them with some hairspray. They last a pretty good while. These are add-ons, not the main focal point. But if you're super, scared about will they last, spray them with hairspray. Spray them with hairspray. This is how many you get in there. So I normally put them in bunches and break the stem. put it in the floor, sweep it up. And then I will just kind of stick them in. And wherever they kind of act like they want to go, I will kind of add a little bit of glue at their base just to kind of hold them a little bit. And all it does is kind of break up the darker colors to where your eye has to focus again on lighter colors. And it's pretty. So I use, you'll see when I make besom brooms, I use a lot of natural stuff. Except for that one that I had to sell. I knew it was probably going to be hauled around to everywhere. And it actually ended up going to Johnson City, to an artist place, which I thought was hilarious. And but I knew it was going to be drug around, so I made it mostly out of faux flowers. But I do use a lot of natural stuff in them normally, because it's a besom broom and it's supposed to be made from nature. If you want it to do what besom brooms are supposed to do, they say. So I'm just picking a few of these and adding them in to kind of break up all the deep colors, just to give your eye something else to look at. You kind of have to sort and go, oh no, that's a different, wait, I need to look closer. And that's what brings your eye in, and you start taking this apart and seeing everything I added. And then you kind of go, oh crap, that's a lot of crap. I like it when people go, oh my gosh, you really put a lot in there. Yes, I did. I sit with these things sometimes 2 and 3 hours to get stuff just right in them, because that's just who I am. Hi, Ashley. I guess that Fahad's trying to make us all think. I don't, here's the thing though, is, I'm a Christian. I'm a born again Christian, so I don't really think a lot about death, because it has absolutely no power over me whatsoever. So a lot of people spend a lot of their life thinking about death, but if you're a Christian, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. We'll have many trials and tribulations come in our lifetime. And it's appointed man wants to die. And my physical body will give it up, but I'm going to go to glory. And I just don't spend a lot of time thinking about death. I don't. It doesn't really have a whole lot of control over me. And I think our young people are kind of living in a compromised mindset, because they're going through this world without understanding, without having the group of people normally that would tell them, hey, you're having these problems and you're thinking about all this stuff internally because you're under conviction. How many kids are going through something and feeling the tug but don't understand what the tug is, and they don't understand they're under conviction. They think they're going crazy. And I'm like, you're not going crazy. You're under conviction, and you're being asked to pick your roadway in life. And, a lot of kids don't understand that now. And so we got a lot of kids that are getting to the age of accountability, and they don't understand, that life has some big decisions you have to make. And, it's almost shameful that they're feeling the tug and they don't understand where the tug's coming from, that our land has gotten so hostile that they don't understand where the tug's coming from. And I think that's so sad. And when I counsel, of course, I couldn't talk about this, but I saw so many kids that were, the parents thought something was wrong with them. And, of course, I couldn't talk about it in that setting, but I knew that it was just the kids reaching that age to where they had the right questions, and it began a conversation with God that they didn't understand was beginning, and they didn't know, they weren't aware that, God's speaking to me. He's, they just didn't know. And I thought, how sad to grow up in a home where you're never told, that some of these moments when you feel a knock on your heart, it's the good Lord. I kind of like that. Okay, let me get the glue sticks off. I've got glue everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Got one free, hey. There we go. Okay, now we see that gave it just a little bit more pop where you can separate some stuff and look. I like that. That just kind of pulls your eyes a little bit more. And it pulls it in to take stuff apart and actually look. I like that quite a bit. Okay, now I'm going to go out. I'm going to pull the bottom out. I'm going to shape it up. I'm going to cut it up if I need to. I'm going to make sure it's going to look good if she's sitting it down or hanging it up. I'm going to wrap the collar in copper. And then I'll hang it up and it will await pickup time. So that's that went faster than I thought it would. I need to turn off my... Well, no, I need that a little bit for that. No, I can use that other glue. That was me having an open mind deliberation there. I would use the E6000 on the copper to affix it. And I may braid it. Loose braid it up the staff a ways and wrap it. So make it look a little bit more dynamic. I've got a huge mess in my floor now. Which, I mean, honestly, what else is new? Don't I do that all the time? Let's see, and I had something up here. I saw something else up here. Whew. Okay, to my moderators, to all my mods, Priscilla, Ashley, Denise, Gypsy, Kim. Is that all I mean? Is that all I mean? Priscilla, Ashley, Denise, Kim. I keep wanting to think there's another one. Did I give Pocahontas a wrench? I can't remember. I can't remember. All my moderators, if you will email me, and Ashley or somebody, if you can throw this in the link, it's watersworkload@gmail.com. If you will email me your address, give me your name and address, I'm going to be sending out a little Christmas packet for you. It's some stuff I've run across that I thought was cute. Maybe some stuff that I've made. We'll just have to see what all gets thrown in there. But I'm making each of these a little box, a little packet. And it's going to be going to my moderators for all the crap they have to sift through. All the people we have to block and all the conversations we have to have about how to handle things. This is the time of year I try to send in something. So if you will email me at watersworkload@gmail.com, all my moderators. And or if you have me on Facebook, you can Facebook me. And we'll try to get stuff sent out so that we can get everybody's mailed early enough for you to enjoy it for Christmas. Because if you haven't noticed, we have one post office, and it's a pain in the butt to get into, so I have to choose really good health days. So that's what I want you to do. And I believe, quite possibly, we may be doing a giveaway this weekend. So maybe doing a giveaway this weekend. Maybe doing a crafting live, and doing a giveaway. And if I do a giveaway, it will either be for a piece of jewelry or to be for an ornament. It just depends on how much I have made and what I can let loose that I don't need for Grinchmas. It's quite possible that after Grinchmas, depending on how much I have left, that I may do some more giveaways right before Christmas. It just depends on how much I have left in stock, because I craft, and then in Grinchmas it just kind of goes, bloop, and so I just have to wait and see how much I have left. So all my mods, email me or Facebook me. My email is watersworkload@gmail.com, and we'll try to get your stuff in the mail so that you have your thank you gift for me and your Christmas so that you can enjoy it. We'll get that done as early as possible. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to take it out and finish it and trim it. And then I'm going to sweep my kitchen floor. And then I'm going to wait for my nurse, who should be here at any moment. I'm going to wait for my nurse. And then I'm going to rest. So everybody have a blessed end of the week. Watch the news. There's a lot of people out there feeling like they're lost because they simply lost someone that they thought was leading them, who really wasn't really leading them. But it's sad if you lose a figurehead, you lose your identity. That's sad, because whether or not somebody that I believe in is leading us, I know exactly who I am. It's sad to know everyone in our nation is like that. So let's be kind to them, and let's understand that they've gone through a loss because they put people in very specific places in their lives that shouldn't be in those very specific priority filled places. And they're going to be going through a lot in the next week, composting and understanding and gravitating toward a new perspective of society. We want them to have a kind perspective. We want them to know that they're welcome to talk to us. They're welcome to communicate. They're welcome to join in, ask questions. We are not what has been for the last 4 years, for the last 8 years. We're not that. So be kind to people. Be soft when they're being aggressive. Understand they literally think they've lost everything when really they've lost nothing. They've lost nothing. They've just basically freed themselves from a mindset they didn't need to have. No one should ever control your behavior to that limit. No one. So let's be kind to everybody and try to stitch our nation back together. We've got a lot of wonderful people that just for whatever reason make a bad decision when it comes to candidates, in my opinion. And I think with the popular vote being won and the massive turnout and the questions people are having saying, wait, we had 20 million last time, but their voting was hellacious in every state, in every county, the lines. So we know that this is the most people have probably ever voted in a long time. But they still say that the last election had more. I think we're all learning now that did not occur. And how quickly votes can get tallied and tabulated if they're submitted correctly. We don't have water mains break and things get copied 50,000 times. But these people are going to be struggling and hurting. So be kind to them. Be kind to them. Try to show kindness and grace and a little bit of information and let them know you're there if they need to ask questions. I put a blister on my finger with that glue. Holy crap. Wow. But let them know that they can talk to you and kind of feel out what they're thinking and you're not going to blow a gasket, okay? We've got a lot of people that need to be reminded that they're part of humanity, and humanity is going to go on no matter who's leading. And we need to really pull together and rely on each other because it doesn't matter who's leading. We're all more important. That's why we should all be together all the time. We're all more important. And so just remind them that, you know something, we've been separated for the last 4 to 8 years. We don't want that to happen again. Ask questions, come, learn. You know, it's okay to have a debate. But we can't be angry with each other anymore. We can't be angry with each other anymore. That's not getting anyone anywhere. So we're going to have to show a lot of love and give them a lot of grace because they have never been asked to behave before. So we're going to have to ask them to behave and show them a lot of compassion, be super compassionate and full of grace, and beg them to join humanity and understand that not everyone's going to be like you, and that's okay. That's the beauty of humanity. That's the great thing about humanity is we're all different. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on helping those people that you see are kind of struggling or seem kind of lost or upset, and just be good people. Just be good people. I know I need a bird, Margaret. I do. I have a white dove, but I don't think a white dove is quite what I need. Although a white dove would really stand out for Christmas. A white dove would really stand out for Christmas. But I know that she wouldn't want it there all the time. But I don't have any dark birds that are substantial. But I had the same thought, Margaret. You're good, Margaret. We need to craft together more often. Okay, moderators, you have your homework. Email me, Facebook me. I need addresses for Christmas packages. And everyone else, be good. Be good to your neighbor. Be good to yourself. And we'll come back in a day or two. Bye. I'll put a picture when I get done. Promise. Promise, promise.